We live.
I know. Ain't nobody in here yet.
I know.
Don't say nothing, babe. Hey, Nia.
Hate you, yo. I hate you.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, yo, cuz. Hey, family.
Period.
Hey, y'all. As y'all can see, we got smiles on our faces. We're feeling good this morning.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, y'all.
Happy Saturday.
Thanks for tuning in. Today should be a good one. Today should be a good one. I hope we get some participation from y'all.
Yeah. Bring them out. Really.
Hey, family.
Good morning.
Did y'all see I was back at it on my TikTok? It made me happy yesterday. Ooh.
I can't stand her. I can't stand her.
But I was only happy because went to see Kiki yesterday.
That part.
That part.
That's a big girl.
Took her flowers and stuff.
That's right, because she's so deserving. That part.
And took her cross for Lent.
Period. What's the shimmy? Is that a new TikTok? You can't expose everything.
I ain't doing no damn shimmy on no damn TikTok.
You just did a shimmy. So you better not come up with a TikTok with a shimmy. Because you just exposed it too soon.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Soul Versations.
Yes, conversations for the soul,
the heart,
the mind,
and the body.
Period.
So, I thank you all for joining in. I was trying to give people a few minutes to come in, but it's 11 o'clock. I understand we really shouldn't have came on at exactly 11 o'clock. We probably should have came on, probably just a few minutes earlier, just to give people an opportunity to come in. But as I always tell Isha, even if it's one person that comes into the room, that is fine with me.
We've done our part.
And we are doing our part. So today, the topic.
Stop playing my niece.
Wait a minute, y'all.
Let my niece out, please.
I gotta let the dog out. So I'm gonna let Isha take over for just a moment. I'm gonna step away just for a moment. Candy with a K needs to go outside.
She playing with my niece. She's really, really playing with my niece.
You can give him the topic of the day, sis.
You got it.
Topic of the day is life after death.
It is life after death, but coping with
heartache.
Why you putting
so
life
after...
Wait. Talk to people. All right, guys. So today it is actually life after death and coping with heartache. My notes are in my phone. I hate that. I'll fix it next week. But life after death, coping with heartache. There are many subtopics that come under that one particular topic. But as you guys all see, today we are repping our babies who were college students. And the reason for this topic is because they both are no longer with us. But this was the life they were living when they were here. And so now we got to figure out how to deal with life after this. Mm-hmm. And so we decided how appropriate it would be if we would rep our babies on this morning. Yeah. And you all know I am the mother of Asir George, who was an Albany State man. We resided in the state of Georgia for 11 years. Took my family there for a better life to raise my son away from a lot of things that were happening here in Philly. We get to Atlanta, Georgia, and life is what it is. It's what we made it to be. But we were happy. Whatever our normal was in Georgia, we were happy. And then someone who did not do an appropriate job with raising their son allowed my son to be taken. Mm-hmm. So I think I kind of exposed so y'all know who my issue is with. My issue has never been with the child himself, although considered in the state of the law, he's an adult. My issue has never been with the child himself. It has always been with the parents. That's my stance, and I'll stick on that. But today, we are here to share with you all the things that we have done to cope with our new normal, our life after death. Life after death for the individual himself cease at that point. So the individual does not feel any of the hate that you set out to inflict on him.
Yeah.
He no longer feels that.
Yeah.
That died with him. But it's the people you leave behind who have to now figure out how to deal with this new world, this new normal. And so 2 ordinary mothers who did everything they needed to do for their family and give them a better life now have to speak to you all and to not only share our ways, but we are asking you all to tell us what are some of the ways you guys utilize to cope with life after death. Yeah. Because I'm at a place where the things that once worked for me no longer work for me. Yeah. So I need something different. I need something new. So share your viewpoints with us as we share our journeys.
Yeah. So, like she said, Asir was an Albany man. Kiki down Kimani, which I have hers on, is Penn State University.
Period.
So, it was so hard to deal with that, and to even put this shirt on, knowing what the outcome was. The good part about that was my husband was able to walk across the stage at at the Penn State ceremony and receive her degree posthumously. How bittersweet that was for us. To know that she had put so much hard work, 4 years, hard work, staying on, top of her class. She wasn't number 1 in the class, and I'm not saying that, but my girl was up there.
Yeah.
She had straight A's. She studied hard. She defied a lot of things that was set against her.
Yeah.
And it so then when you think about that person and the life that he led, he was only home for like 6 months before he killed her. Life of crime, in and out of jail, different things like that. So it angers you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And thank y'all
we see you guys coming in.
So it angers you. So this life after death thing, and coping with your heartache is not easy. But what you have to do is allow yourself to feel your feelings, right? But don't become your feelings.
That's it. Say that again.
Allow yourself to feel your feelings, but don't become your feelings. So, it's okay to that one day when you wake up and you feeling, you're feeling down, and you shouldn't allow whatever grief, whatever feeling that is that you're feeling at that moment and at that time. Allow yourself to go through that, because again, it is a part of grief. But don't allow yourself to stay in that. Yeah. Because it will swallow you. And I know we talked about this a little bit last week when we were talking about the topics. Don't allow that to consume you. Yeah. I just think about when Dom was taken from us. And I was in a room and I laid in the bed. And in my mind, I was telling myself, don't fall into this. You stronger than this. But again, it was overpowering me. So I I closed the windows and I shut off all the lights. I closed the door. I was shutting everything and everybody out. And my husband came in the room, and he looked at me and he was like angry. And I know it wasn't like necessarily angry at me. but angry at the situation, and he flung the curtains open, and he said, "No, you're not going to do this. You're not going to allow this to consume you. You're not going to allow this to take over you, because we have to fight through this, because this is our reality." So I had to move on. Allow myself to feel whatever I was feeling, and as much as it hurts. But I knew I had to move on. I don't want to talk too much. I want to let Isha, touch on that of allowing herself to feel
it. That very first moment is the moment you got to pay attention to, because in that very first moment, that is the person you're going to become in your new normal.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Whatever that feeling was you felt in that first moment truly does define who you become in your new normal. And I keep going back to the moment when they allowed myself, my husband, and my daughter to go in and view my son's body. And in that moment, I remember getting in that room, and there were cops that surrounded Asir's body. I immediately began to observe him from head to toe. And I looked my son up and down. And the doctors did a great job to hide some things from me, but some things were exposed. And the things that were exposed at that moment, a sane person in that moment would have probably passed out. I wanted to view almost every drop of blood that I seen on that floor. And I knew in that moment it was no longer about me living this life for me and my dreams and my aspirations. In that moment, defined all the things I needed to do to carry out the life and legacy of my son.
Yeah.
Most moms I speak with talk about, I could have never went in a room and not been able to touch my son. I restrained myself from touching my son because I needed whatever drop of evidence that was left on his body to be found.
See, that's
so they could find his killer.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's something that I don't know if people know this, that when you lose a loved one, or you lose a child to murder, to gun violence, you can't even touch your baby.
You can't touch him.
All you can do is just look.
View them.
You can view them. You can't touch them.
That was our final viewing. That was our final viewing.
A picture, and because when I went to the morgue, I didn't see her. I didn't see her. I just saw a picture.
That's crazy.
But I did see her at the hospital. But again, they don't allow you to.
That's crazy.
To touch her.
Yeah. And that's the part that hurts the most. But it was the most profound moment for me and what defined my new normal.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching my husband, who stood to the left of me, and my daughter, who stood to the left of him. I remember watching my husband almost go in to get my son, and I said, nope. Because whatever drop of evidence is left on his body, I want them to be able to find it. And that was me putting the responsibilities on the officers. Granted, the officers didn't pull the trigger, and the officers might not be solving these cases as quickly as we would like for them to. The officers may be insensitive to many of our demographics and our backgrounds and things like that. But I put the responsibility on the officers who was in that room with me in that moment. Find my son's killer.
Yeah.
Find my son's killer, because what you have here that's now laying prostrate, that was a good boy. That was a boy that was raised in love. That was a boy that was fought for. My son wasn't no ordinary guy.
Yeah.
That kid was dressing up with shirts buttoned up to the top and bow ties.
Yeah.
My son wasn't ordinary. I didn't raise him to be such. So y'all can't just let this go. This ain't going to just get swept under the rug. And I'm not making myself out to be more than what I am, but I know that God gives us the strongest battles to his strongest soldiers, and that's so cliche-ish, but it's so true. He didn't just give Isaiah, who was a special angel, to any old body. He gave him to somebody who had a mouthpiece.
But how did you not but what did you do to not allow that anger and that bitterness at that moment when they told you that he was going and you knew he was going? What did you do to cope with that?
I'm still coping through that. I tell myself daily, because I believe that there is power in the tongue. You can speak those things, and I don't want to go biblical, but you can speak those things that aren't as though they were. So I had to tell myself, I might have used faith before, and some of the things I prayed for might not have worked out the way I wanted it to work out.
Yeah.
This situation ain't work out the way I wanted it to work out. Yeah. But because I know the power of the tongue, I knew that I had to keep telling myself daily, you got to fight through this. You got to fight for this. You got to keep his name alive. So in doing all of those things, you got to remain sane. You got to remain sane. And you got to tap into your innermost being to continue to tell yourself daily, get up and fight.
Yeah.
I wake up 4:30 every morning. And some people laugh. I'm like, why she get up at 4:30 every morning? You know why? And I don't start work until 7 o'clock. I arrive at my job at 6 o'clock, between 6 o'clock and 6:15 every morning.
Yeah.
I need that moment for myself. Because if I don't fix me before I present me to you, what you get is what you get. So I got to fix me. I got to take that moment to work on me before I can present myself to the world. So those are coping mechanisms that I use daily.
Okay.
I got you.
So, what is a suggestion would be for you to be able to get along, to face the world after such a tragedy, right? Is for some people, it's best that you find a support system.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that, and that can come in an array of things. That can come as a grief group. That can come in you talking to someone at church. That can be with you going to a psychiatrist. That could be, I don't know. Because for me, it was, at first, I thought I could do it. I thought I could do it by myself. But my feelings were consuming me. So what I did was I did join a grief group, which does help me out. At first, I didn't think that it was going to, I was like, I can deal with it. I can do it. I'm strong. I can do it. But when you go through a tragedy such as we have,
yeah,
you really, really need someone or something as a support system. So again, my support system, which first and foremost, my support system first and foremost is my family.
Yeah,
my family was and still is very supportive. I have a praying family, so I thank God for that. So after that, then brings me to my grief group again. And let me back up because I can't come out of order. I can't come out of order. Don't talk about me, y'all. First of all, this God is the first person that kept me. And that was my counselor and still is. And he is my psychiatrist. But here on earth, because I know that we are... Yes, Isha, you always have my back. I thank you. And yes, I have a cousin that goes, I forgot. I do have a cousin that goes to Albany State.
I just read that.
Yeah, my young cousin. He's
fellow Ram.
Yeah. And he's a drum major. If I'm not mistaken. He
and
don't
they band was like that.
things.
They band is like that. Ram Nation. Okay.
But as y'all can see, education is big in our family.
That's right.
But again, I'm sorry, I don't want to get off course, but I told y'all it's unorthodox. It is what it is. We read the comments, we have conversation, and
get off track, but it's okay.
But
it all means something.
Find that support system. Another thing that you can do, which is exercise, and that's what she just said. She wakes up. What you said? You wake up at 6 in the morning.
4:30.
4:30. Excuse me. 4:30 in the morning, and she's walking and she's exercising. Again, I know for you, I know that can be a place of meditation.
It is. It is the moment that you guys have to figure out. You guys got to take time for yourself. It's 24 hours in a day. We give the world, all of us, all of the time. But how much time do you truly give to yourself? Mm-hmm. Your mental being, your physical being, your well-being, your faith being. How much time do you actually dedicate to yourself? And so if it means getting up earlier in the morning or going to bed later, whatever it is you need to do to have a moment for yourself. Most gyms, I know the one that I attend, they're like 24 hours. Take time for yourself. Exercising is just one thing. Getting into a book club, that's another. Mm-hmm. Joining a support group, like mm-hmm. Danny stated, that's mm-hmm. another. Mm-hmm. But that time is time for you, and nothing should interfere with that. So put your phones on Do Not Disturb. Allow yourself to have those moments, and just make that time for yourself. It is necessary.
Yeah, because heartache is serious.
Heart.
And you have to,
like, it's real.
And you got to live with that. You know, I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah.
I absolutely did not think it was possible to live with a broken heart, but I do it every day. But again, to keep your sanity through that, I definitely suggest that you
listen.
You find some place of comfort. You find some place of solace, some place that's quiet for you to talk and possibly, just meditate.
Yeah.
You don't even have to talk, to just be in what it is that you're feeling. I mean, you can take that time to talk to your child or loved one, because again, I don't want to be biased, because I know that some people that may tune in to us, they may not have lost a child through gun violence that we have, but they might have lost a child. And it might not even been a child, just lost a loved one, somebody that they really hold really, really close and dear.
And put a pin right there, because while you say that, there are two individuals on today I've been following through social media that are being laid to rest. One was due to gun violence. These were babies. And the other one is a young lady, Lyric. That's kind of surfaced on the internet. She died from cancer. Babies are being put to rest like daily. And mothers, not just those who lose children to gun violence, mothers all across suffer from this. So don't take it lightly. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. We don't just advocate for moms who's lost children to gun violence. We advocate for moms, and not just moms. This platform is for dads and siblings as well, because we have all of those. In-laws as well. We have all of those. So this platform, we don't want to it's not for just that. So if you have friends out there that's lost children, by any means, please invite them in.
So it leads us in dealing with that heartache, you have to don't put a time limit on that. Okay? You can't judge the length of your grief.
You want to expound, please?
You can't
with this one.
You can't, because grief sometimes comes and it settles in, and you just never know when it's coming. You don't know when it's leaving. You don't know how long it's going to stay there. And then on the other side of that, you have people that look at you and may say, "Oh, you still, it's going to get better. It's, just give it." Don't put a time frame on how long that grief is going to be, because when you do put a time frame on it, trust me, you're gonna just wipe that time frame right off of the map. It's really up and down, and it's day to day. Like right now, I'm feeling good. Like last week.
Going into the anniversary.
Last week I was trembling, my voice was shaking. I couldn't relax myself. I'm here for it today.
You in your zone.
But again, that was one of my bouts with my grief. That I'm sorry, y'all. I also looked at the tape last week, and I said that I was not going to keep saying but I keep saying because it's a part of how I talk, but
unorthodox. That's our world.
How could you? What would you say about
the length of grief?
The length of grief, or not judging. For some people, don't judge the length of your grief.
There are several steps to that one. So you first can't put a frame on the time frame that you should kind of like let go of your grief of that lost loved one. Our measuring tape, let me speak for myself. My measuring tape was hearing people around me saying, "You will be okay, God got you." Mm-hmm. That was my measuring tape. And so mentally I started telling myself, okay, what they're saying to me is, once I put my son in the ground, I should kind of keep living. So for a minute, I actually kind of fell into that. So I stopped visiting the cemetery, and because I felt like that was like pushing me deeper into my grief and more than it was helping me heal. So I stopped visiting the cemetery. And so when I took back ownership of that and told myself that it didn't matter how other people felt, how quickly they were to get over December the 29th, I would never be able to get over that date in time. That was the day I put my son in the ground. So please don't tell me to get over. And even sometimes it's not even malicious. People don't even know that they're doing it. Yeah. So I don't blame anyone for the things that they say, but don't put a time frame on it for your loved ones. Let them have that moment. And I'm now speaking to the family members. Let them have that moment because they need it. Like, let them tell you when they're ready to throw some things away. Let them tell you when they're ready to change that baby's room, if that day ever comes. Let them tell you when they're ready to move on to the next stage. Just be there, be a shoulder, be supportive, and help them understand that no matter what it is that they're feeling or what they're going through, you're going to kind of like be there to support the entire way. And that's all they really need sometimes.
Yeah. So also, again, we have to, sticking with the topic of life after death and dealing with and coping with heartache. One of those things that you will definitely have to do to ease your mind. And, some people do not agree. But for me, and I know for Isha, it is true. We have to forgive.
That part.
Which is so hard to do. So forgiving somebody, I can forgive you, but I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to like you. I don't have to talk to you ever again. I don't have to do any of that. So, with that being said, the forgiveness is for me and my spirituality and my mind, for me to be able to move on and be happy with myself. I know it may sound crazy. I don't want to let him fester in my mind. Even if it's anger. Again, I know we spoke on this last week. I cannot and I will not allow him to consume any more of me, to take any more of my thoughts, because to think about him is to put me in a very negative space. And yes, I still take a taste or two, I curse and do that, but at the forefront of it all, I'm still a spiritual person. And I believe in God and I stand on his word, and if I don't forgive him for what he done, I look at that as me missing my blessings or something I'm not living Christ-like if I do not forgive him, because we commit sins and do things every single day. And God continues to love us and continues to forgive us and continues to give us chance after chance. Now, that part, I'm not giving him another chance. I'm not saying that I would like to be his friend.
Yeah.
I would never do that. But in order for my conscience, because I can't speak for him.
Yeah.
I can't speak for his family. I can't speak for any of that. I can only speak for myself. That I have to forgive him in order for me to release that part of anger in me, so that I don't bring those thoughts and feelings onto myself.
Yeah.
If I'm making sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I've said it from the beginning. I now will live a life to live again to see Jesus and my son. So I can't allow feelings to come in between that. They are nothing but feelings. We all know feelings change often. They come and they go. And so that's a feeling that you choose to either give into or have control over. That's a feeling. I choose to have control over that. But what I had to pray about, because forgiving him to me was easy. It was the not being able to forgive his mother who had him. I couldn't forgive her. You had him. He didn't ask for this. So what did you do to raise him? How did you rear him? That's on you.
Wow.
Sis, you bit that. You failed as a mother. I had to forgive that. That was tough. That's the part that still at times I often look forward to the court date. Because I want to be able to tell him I forgive him. But I need to also be able to tell her how hard it was to forgive her.
Yeah.
He don't just get to hear my voice in that courtroom. Sis, you did wrong. You messed up. You missed the signs. You aborted your responsibility somewhere along the line. You let a feeling force you not to be in the mother you needed to be. You missed the sign. So my issue was with her. I had to forgive that. And that wasn't easy. A mother is a mother by nature. No matter what nationality we come from, no matter what our rearing was, something in you kicks in. And that motherly instinct steps up. I became a mother at the age of 17. And I found out I was a mother to Mushy while in Pennsylvania hospital getting my stomach pumped. Because I had just attempted to commit suicide. They were pumping my stomach and with the charcoal. It wasn't the first time. But this time it was different because I learned I was pregnant with Mushy. And by learning that I was pregnant with Mushy, of course, to me, this might sound crazy because I was just trying to commit suicide, right? But that very moment, something awakened. Something gave me a whole meaning to want to live. But then reality set in, and the hospital psychiatrist was standing in front of me, giving me abortion information because clearly I wasn't mentally stable to bring a child into this world from their definition of it. And I told that lady I didn't need that information. I was about to become a mom. So I say all that to say something out no matter what it is your experience. A mother is a mother by nature. So you do everything possible to protect your cubs. Everything. To protect your children. Everything. If an animal have enough sense to know how to do that, what the hell is going on with the people? What's going on with the people? Because no matter what the male did, the mother still stepped in and did what she needed to do. And we're failing in that area. We put the blame on the men. We put the blame on the police officers. And this may be a controversial topic. I get it. I'm here for it, though. I'm ready for this debate. Because at the end of the day, we know how to shift the blame to everybody else. But the poor old mom never has to foot the bill. And it's time that we do. Women have to foot the bill. We fail sometimes, and it's okay. So, forgiveness.
Okay.
Forgiveness.
So, then you realize, after you have forgiven him, that what you actually have done was you have taken back your personal power.
Mm.
You know, when you can release all of the anger, and hurt feelings and that. No, not you can't really release the hurt feelings, but when you can release the anger. And I'm talking about for the person that committed the act.
Yeah. Let's be clear.
Once you have you have forgiven, let me say this too. Wow. I do not forgive the act. What I am forgiving is him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just him, period. Okay? Because it's for me. Not for him.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's for me to take my power back. For me to say, I forgive you and now I'm done with you. Mm-hmm. And I can put you out of my mind. And I can take care of what I need to take care of over here. Yeah. And with myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm on this path of this new life. Of living with this heartache.
Yeah.
Again, I know we come on here and we say that we want to have tools and we have tools for you. And we still going through.
Yeah.
And we need the tools from y'all too. To get through this. I took my power back by creating a foundation for Key. And it's called the Dom Kimani Scholarship Foundation. Last year we were blessed and very able and very blessed to award 2 students last year with scholarships in her honor. And hopefully we're going to do it again. Application. Oh, man.
You missed the application deadlines or you didn't put the information on? We'll work on it. Don't worry.
I was supposed to start stepping the applications the 18th. But, of course, you know what the 18th is, so I couldn't do it. So I'm going to get that out there. So this week we will be accepting applications for scholarships. We will also be accepting donations. Mm-hmm. I don't care what it is. If you're able to donate, please go on to dks.foundation and donate to the organization so that we can help another child or some more children with their higher education. Because one thing that was important to Kiki was education and higher education. You know, when she was a few months away from graduating with honors. And we were also in the process of looking at colleges, and we were visiting colleges because she was going for her master's. And the most recent place that we had visited, or we really didn't, well, our appointment was with Villanova. Mm-hmm. And they were excited. The woman was, excited that she wanted to come there for her master's. And this is a girl that hadn't even gotten her bachelor's yet. From Pennsylvania. She hadn't got that. But Kiki had a way of talking to people. Yeah. And she had a demeanor around people. And it just wanted people, and people just wanted to be in her aura. Yeah. Because she was just that special.
Yeah.
So education is really, really big with her. She stayed on her brothers all the time about education, and if they stumbled, she was on them. And again, I used to have to tell her, like, yo, kid, like, I am their mom. Like, you are not their mother. I'm the mom. I tell them, and I do the discipline around here. But that's just how she was. So I just thought that it was fitting to have that type of remembrance of her. To start a foundation and to keep it in the area of education. Mm-hmm. Because so many of our young people feel like they can't go to college because of their circumstances, but college is reachable and college is doable,
and it's so many resources out there. That's something we need to touch on. Actually, we'll make sure when our Silversation page touches, because we're working on that. When that touches, we're going to have all of those resources provided. Working in post-secondary, I learned so much. I'm so serious. Financial aid information.
Isha, you crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. My cousin put up, yes, I need down here for this philosophy class. Let me tell you something. Yeah. That girl got a lot of people out of high school. She wrote a lot of papers for college for people. She was something else. Like, I'm telling you. We went through it when she first went to Penn State, because for one, it's a lot of racism. It's a lot of racism at Penn State. And when she first went, she was going to Mount Alto. So that was like way up in the boondocks of Pennsylvania. You had to travel past cornfields, to get to the campus. And I'm sorry.
I can't wait.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So the teachers would be accusing her. The teachers would be accusing her. She would write papers and different things, and the teachers would be accusing her of plagiarism. Yeah. They said, "Oh, you didn't write this. I'm gonna have to send you to the dean." And I would remember that she would just be calling me, crying, like, "Oh my God, Mom, they trying to get me kicked out. He's trying to say that I didn't write this." Because she was a sophomore, right? And she used to send us her papers, and my husband would be like, "What magazine was that from?" I used to be like, "That's Kiki paper. Kiki she wrote that." And he's like, "Damn." But again, I don't want to keep talking because I don't want to go on. We only have a few minutes. I say all that to say education is very big to her, and I just feel like to keep that going on, to keep that in her name, to keep her face there, for people to know who she was. It's just a great thing. Yeah. And that your power.
Yeah, that is not allowing his name to remain associated with gun violence. I had to separate us from that because that wasn't who Asir was. I started Eyes Vision immediately following Asir's death. And my main reason and purpose for starting Eyes Vision was I wanted people to see through the eyes of Asir. Asir was an individual who was very compassionate and empathetic. This boy has caused me to open up my home and invite some of the kids who were going through things and that he went to school with to live with us, for us to feed them, for us to pick them up from work, give them rides, help them out. That was how my children invited me into the world of them and their friends. And so whenever there was an issue going on in anybody else's child's life, I'd always wanted them to know they had a safe haven, a place to run to, a place that they would never have to be on the streets and anything. And if we could ever help, we was always there to help. So me starting a foundation to provide services to impoverished areas and communities, which we all know, and I hate to kind of put a face on this, but it's more like the urban areas. So I cater to our community. I wish to broaden that, but I first have to start with helping our people. And so in doing that this past year, Eyes Vision was able to feed over 2,000 families. We did several food drives throughout the year. We did a toy drive for Christmas, which was very, very special to me because those dates will forever be embedded in my heart because they took Asir on December the 21st. And it's crazy because Christmas was really like our favorite holiday. And so doing something for Christmas is always going to be important to me. But the thing that I think I admired doing the most this past year was a laptop drive, where we were able to provide 10 laptops to 10 families in our areas. to be able, so the children can go online and be able to have a successful school year without blemish. And so doing that, I allow other mothers to come out and present those laptops to those families, because it's not just about us here. We are really in a community together, whether we want to be or not. It's not one we ask for, but we are here together. So I always want everyone to be in remembrance. I'll say his name often. I won't deny that. But I do try to make sure when possible, I can be that support to somebody else who is in need. And Danny does the same thing. And there are several moms who are even online with us right now who does the same thing. So that's a way of taking back your power. You find something to carry on the life and legacy of that lost loved one. And you carry that thing out with excellency and in order. And you do what's best to honor the remembrance of that loved one. Because again, I do not wish for the final say of my son to be that associated with gun violence. So I do everything in my power to separate us from that. I mean, it is what it is. It exists. But I don't want to define Nasir / gun violence. I don't want that to be written.
So we just have about 12 more minutes. I'm so appreciative for everybody that has joined us again this week. And we doing it.
We doing it, y'all.
Again, it's just regular conversation that it helps us.
It really does.
It helps us to talk about them. Sometimes I feel like I talk about it too much, or I insert her too much sometimes, because people talk, and I always, when they're giving their stories, it's like I can't wait to insert my story, and it's always a story about Dom. It's always a story about Dom. She was just that prevalent in our lives. So I'm happy again today that I'm feeling better. I went to see her yesterday again. I took her some flowers and everything, and we sat out there with her for just a little while. But oh my gosh, the reality that we have to go and see our babies. I had to visit my baby in a cemetery.
Let me ask you this: when leaving the cemetery, does the pit of your stomach hit the floor of your stomach? Like, it's a moment when you're riding out of the cemetery.
No, for me, for me, the feelings, those feelings come
when you're going in,
entering, and when I'm
mine's
entering.
Come when I leave.
That happens when I enter. Once I leave, I'm filled. I'm good. I'm not great,
but you're better.
But I'm better.
I leave broken, and that scares me sometimes, because that's the thing that keeps me from going. I know what that feeling is. And I remember one time, it's funny you would say about the beginning, but that happened once. I was driving in, and I got to the gate, and my watch had to remind me to breathe. I didn't even realize I wasn't. My watch had to say breathe. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I got through it though. But for me, it's every time I'm leaving out of the cemetery, there's a feeling that hits the bottom of your stomach. And that for me, like, is a reminder of the pain. And I hate feeling that. So I don't go.
That helped me out. So for me, it's different.
It strengthens you.
I'm sorry that that it doesn't. That's not better for you.
Yeah.
For me, it's different. And it's just it's for us in this house, in our home. It's different when we are feeling down and we're not. And it's just we're always feeling like a missing link is
there.
It's just there. It's not full. Yeah. But going to the cemetery and cleaning off her headstone. Yeah. And placing more beautiful flowers. Yeah. And putting, pretty butterflies and different things like that out there. And to talk to her. Yeah. It makes me feel so good. And most of the time when we go, the sun is always bright. And
I gotta ask, like,
shining.
How do you get to that place though?
I don't know.
Because that's so.
I don't know
I
because
want to be there. I don't want to like not feel that. I don't want to like. I give my son, and I'm just being honest. If it wasn't for one of my loved ones, I always say I serious grief probably wouldn't be visited. I got a loved one that she just go, and I know that there are probably more. But they do it because one, they love them, and two, they know I don't have the strength to do it. But I am trying to get to a place where I know how to do that.
Yeah. So that I'm sorry that I don't have an answer for you. Because that is something.
Request. Maybe they have an answer.
Because that is something that it's just. It just happened. It just happened to happen like that. It just happened to happen like that.
Yeah.
I used to be scared of the cemetery. You ride past there, you're like, oh my God, if I ever had to walk. We used to walk past the very cemetery where Dom is a cemetery that we used to walk past going to Yaden Theater here in West Philly. We used to walk past there, Baltimore Pike, and I used to be petrified of walking past that cemetery. But my baby is there. I could actually take a blow-up bed, some covers, and I'm going to be good. And I could sleep there with my baby. I can go there and I can have lunch. I can go there anytime. I love you too. I love you too, cuz. I love you too. I can just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely praying for that place. In
I'm
the beginning it was
too.
easy.
I'm gonna pray
please.
for you too.
I'm so serious.
But then you have your ways of connecting with him. Yeah. And the cemetery just isn't your place to connect, and that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Because we definitely connect. I promise.
I mean, you have a forever connection. That's your son.
Yeah, nothing is ever totally destroyed. Be
forever connection. Yeah. It's never going to be.
So he's definitely still here, not in the physical, but he's here in the presence. I always feel that. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
looks like we coming to an end.
We coming up on it. If you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions for us,
please feel free.
Drop them right here in the comments.
Yeah.
We definitely. I love y'all. My family. I love y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank y'all too.
Yes. Thank you guys.
We have both of our phones going at the same time. So sometimes if I wasn't looking up here, I might have been looking down here because the other phone is right there. We couldn't find the other ones. So we thank you for joining in. And next week, we're gonna keep this thing going. Like I said, it doesn't matter if one person, if it was just one person to tune in, that means that we have done something good and somebody is looking for us, even if it's just one person. Yeah.
We love you too, Belinda.
Yeah, I
love you too. We're trying to add you in. I don't know what went wrong.
So next week. So we touched on that. Next week, let's touch on it's okay not to be okay.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
And hopefully we will have again someone on here to speak with you and give you some life points, some meditation points. I know that we touched on a few things, not a lot, but we're not doctors, but just what we kind of use to know to get through. Because I thank you. I thank you for taking the time and
to
tuning
even
in.
Tune in, guys. Thank you.
I love you too, cause I love you too, Jamaica.
Thank you all. You all could be so many other places, but being here helps us. Again, whether it's 1 or 1,000, we're going to be here for you guys, and we're hoping that you are here for us. So we're looking forward to next week's topic.
Cause we haven't. We're actually working on the IG page for Soul Conversations. So just look out for that. What I might do is send you guys a request.
Yeah.
I'll just go down the list and send a request and have you guys come on over and join us and tune in so that we can have some things on that page for you too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that we want to, we want to help out. We want to do.
A lot of things we want to do.
Yeah.
It's so many families out here that are in need and need the strength and the resources and the support.
Yeah, you late.
Oh, girl, we gonna beat you at this point. And you know what? 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. But we will be back on next week, and we are looking forward to touching that topic. It's okay to not be okay.
Aisha's page is Aisha. Yes. That's AISHA _versus Ish ESH. So that's Aisha _versus _Ish. That's that her. Please tell your viewers we have a ultimate giveaway starting at 12 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
That's yeah.
So
all right,
Nomo.
guys.
Is that Nomo, right?
That's Nomo. Yeah.
That's Nomo. The Nomo Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So
ultimate giveaways.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so the Nomo Foundation actually have ultimate giveaways starting at 12 o'clock p.m. on today. We want you guys to go out there and follow at Mothers United by Angels. Again, that's Mothers United by Angels, all one word. And they are giving out a full paid scholarship to moms who have lost a child to homicide and homicide for surgical tech. So we want you guys to go out there and follow the No More Foundation. For many of you who do not know Ricky Duncan and Felicia Pendleton, they are out there, and there are many others who work with that particular organization, but they are out there doing an amazing job, and I'm honored to say that that's my family, kind of bragging rights, right? But they are out there doing it, and we are so proud of them. Go on out there, please.
Moms United by Angels.
Just follow that page.
Moms United by Angels. I'm gonna put it in the
we'll actually pin this information as well. So when you guys go back and view, we don't know how many scholarships there are, but please, class starts on Monday. We want you guys to please go out there and let them all know, and anyone that you may know, a mom who just needs, like we just talked about, that outlet. People need an outlet. Tell somebody that you know that's suffering with the loss of their loved one. Let them know that you have an opportunity for them, that someone has an opportunity for them, and connect them with Ricky Duncan and Felicia Pendleton. That's Mr. Nomo, and Felicia Pendleton is Moms United by Angels. Love you too, cuz.
Not a second.
There are 4 scholarships, guys.
Another minute.
Yeah.
Not an hour of another day. But at this moment with my arms outstretched,
yeah,
I need you to make a way as you have done so many times before. Showed up and restored all of the things that I let slip. While I was yet chasing the world for more, the truest friend I have indeed. He's my best friend, I know indeed. I stretch my hands to thee. Come rescue me. I need you right away. I need you now. I need you now.
Yes,
I need you now. Not another second of another minute. Not an hour of another
right now,
day.
God.
But Lord, I need
right now, God.
you right away.
Yes. And we pray that all that are watching right now, that you will continue to pray our strength, that you will continue to pray for all of the mothers and fathers, and just pray for our city in whole. We need God right away.
Right away.
We are in a state of emergency.
Right away.
We
and
need
listen,
God right away.
Pray
Without ceasing. Pray.
Without ceasing.
Pray.
Without ceasing.
Until you see your Savior again. Pray.
And remember, gotta forgive, y'all.
Forgiveness.
Gotta love, right? Because God always forgives us no matter what we have done. And He loves us no matter what.
Unconditionally.
Continue to pray. Pray for us.
Yes.
Pray for yourself. Pray for those that you don't even know.
Yes.
Continue to give God all the glory. And He will continue to bless you abundantly. This is Soulversations.
Conversations with the soul.
The heart.
The mind.
And the body. Peace, y'all.
Deuces.